Welcome to our chilly back porch. This post is titled Three Gifts Men Need from Mentors. Every Monday night they gather on this very back porch, a small group of young men. After some hot tea and snacks, the conversation begins. My friend Dave and I lead them through a time of storytelling from their own lives. The topic last Monday was a familiar one for me. Mentors. But what happened there was certainly a surprise. Suddenly, I saw the hunger for mentors delineated into three different gifts. Gifts that touch the deep places in a man's soul. One of the young men, Austin, told about feeling invisible for much of his life. But during a lacrosse season in high school, he was picked out by his coach to work on more advanced skills. The individual training was certainly appreciated, but what made the experience so memorable for Austin was something else. It was feeling seen by his coach and then affirmed. What he said next was striking. Austin said that instead of feeling invisible, all of a sudden, he felt powerful. What was growing inside of him at that moment was that proper self-confidence and inner fortitude that every man needs. All of this from the gift of feeling seen. Now, Jeff told a story of being listened to by a professor in college. Whenever Jeff would stop talking, the professor would simply wait for him to keep talking. He found himself articulating things for the first time, putting words to the motions in his own heart. He was experiencing a second gift, the gift of feeling heard. In that process, something else was happening to him. He was finding his own voice and learning that it was worth listening to. For when a man finds his voice and speaks it, something stands up inside of him. Having the courage to voice truth is so much of what masculinity entails. Now finding his voice, it's no surprise that Jeff wants to be a writer. Now Brad told the story of an important conversation with his uncle. Here he was told that handling the finances of the family farm were soon to be passed on to him. Being an accounting major, he certainly had the skill set to do this, but in that moment, something else was happening. His uncle saw it as his time now to take on this responsibility and called it out of him. He suddenly felt worthy to have the torch passed to him. In doing so, he offered Brad a third gift, the gift of feeling valued. Now, I want to note that the gifts these mentors offered were not tangible skills or life wisdom. Those are certainly valuable in and of themselves, but these gifts are deeper. You can feel it yourself. They meet a hunger in a man's soul by offering life-giving sustenance. What is that sustenance, you may say? It is to be seen and heard and valued as a man by another man. This is the hunger inside of every man. It is what helps him own his masculinity and gives him the will and courage to speak the truth and do the truth. Now, one more thing struck me that night. These three gifts are exactly what Jesus offers his brothers in the faith. For truly, we are seen by him and heard by him and valued by him, by the one man who is above all men. His eyes are always upon us. His ears are never deaf to our cries. And we are so valued by him that we're worth dying for. Today, wherever you are, whatever your struggles, however much you have failed, however much you don't feel like a man, you can always count on this. You are seen by Him. You are heard by Him. And you are valued by Him. These are the three gifts He is offering to every man who desires to receive them.